Hello, friend. So today I will continue my GCP Professional Architect Certification course. So I will document all the steps I do towards this certification. I will start with a brief resume of what I've done in my previous work towards this result. So let's go. Okay, speedrun GCP Professional Architect Certification. What a nice title. Okay. Oh, what do we have here? Now I can share with you. Okay. So I'm using Google Cloud Skill Boosts, which contains many courses, many paths, and I chose the Cloud Architect learning path. Okay, I already completed the first course in this path. There are many courses, there are like 17 courses. The first course is just about how the hands-on lab works. So I had an overview of what happens, how this learning environment is connected to my GCP console, which is not connected to my GCP console actually. The main thing I have to bring with me from this course is that each time I start one of these labs offered here, basically I obtain new credentials, studying credentials, and access to a temporary project. That's all. Then I started this new course here. I can do a resume course, which will bring me to the last video, but I want first to have this overview of the course to remember again what's this about. So I will zoom out a bit, and as here is possible to see, I've been already through this module and I arrived to this one actually, which is not showing anything, but yeah, the first introductory module will show just what material is interesting to use during this learning path, and also it's the whole course in the end is just a way to decide the best strategy, the best things I have to learn, to repeat, to practice in order to be prepared for the rest of the journey. Okay, and resuming the module, I can go. Okay.
Why become a Google Cloud?
Yeah, the videos are kind of annoying. So yeah, the videos are about the module overview, introduction to the professional cloud architect role, and then I have the certification value and benefit. I will mark this as completed. Let's go.
As you explore the role of
Certification process. Here I don't exactly remember what do they say. Certification process. It looks like as you explore the role of professional cloud architect. Okay, so first of all, in this same module, I've been introduced to this symbol direct, which is a fictional company. Let's see, symbol direct, maybe it exists. I'm not sure if this company really exists, but it's used for a use case which will be the base for all the examples throughout this course. I'm not sure if then it will be used also in the other courses of this learning path, but yeah, during this course it's used as it's also a use case used in other Google material which is not strictly related to this learning path. Okay. Okay, so they're explaining the learning path for this certification includes in-person online courses, online practice labs, and skill badges. The courses recommended for professional cloud architect certification include also, okay, so they advise to take some of these fundamental courses, which maybe we'll do. As in some cases, I don't really remember everything about all these fundamental services and tools characteristics. Yeah, there's also external material as Coursera and Plural site. Okay. During the certification exam, some of the questions may refer you to a case study that describes a fictitious business and solution concept. The case studies are intended to provide additional context as you answer the questions. You can access the official case studies from the exam guide. So for each certification, I imagine there is an exam guide, and for the professional cloud architect, there's this one. Okay, so I see there are these several case studies here. And all this material here with all these sections is available in PDF. Yeah, so the PDF, let me open this in the same browser so you can see it, right? Okay. So as you can see here, we have this PDF which helps us preparing for the professional cloud architect journey. Exam guide sections. Okay, so I already had the section 1 in the last studying sessions, and this first section is about how to analyze the case study, how to extract the business requirements and technical requirements, then how to arrive to formulate some solutions, all the possible solutions actually. And then when arriving to the questions, to some example of exam questions, there's this process where you try to observe the patterns which repeat in all the options, and then find the differences. Therefore, the differences will basically tell you on which details you need to put your attention. So, based on the requirements of the study case and the different options you have changing slightly, then you can write to formulate your answer. Okay. And then the last time, after completing these videos, okay, so sample question and other resources you can use to prepare the diagnostic question in this course are designed to help you identify your knowledge gaps. Okay, so this whole course, again, is something we will use to determine which are our knowledge gaps, where we have to focus first to study and practice. Okay, so mark as completed. Then after I finish this course, I will be able to basically create a study plan based on some advices I will receive. Okay, mark as completed. Let's go. Now we arrive to the workbook, which is the same file I showed you here. And now I can proceed.
Welcome to Module 1, Designing a Plan.
And here, after the introduction, I also completed these, and I completed the first 3 videos of this second module, which is the first practical module. Here we basically start analyzing the study case and practicing some questions. So we'll mark this as completed, the first video.
Let's start by exploring the breadth of considerations involved in the design of a cloud architecture and the role of the professional cloud architect at SimulDirect.
So I've been also through this video here, and basically they are providing my mom. We call you later, mommy. So here we are starting basically analyzing what is our role in this use case, this study case. What are the main points I have to consider? And I remember that the main concepts are to assess the current situation of this company, and when imagining the solution, where the final solution, where we want to arrive with the business partners in this business scenario, I have to imagine all the middle steps and the best strategies, for example, to migrate from one solution, from the current solution to the new one, reducing the costs and make sure that we minimize downtime. Therefore, then there are more details about the 3 main technical aspects, the 3 main projects this company has. So I remember they have drone delivery, then they have this image highlighting the socials, and they have this other thing managing the track management system, which I'm not sure. Maybe just the track intended. Let's see, drone track. well, I'm not sure what do they mean exactly, but we'll see. And well, at the end, they in this use case, I've been told focus on the drone delivery. Yeah, if I'm not sure wrong. Oh yeah, and they also have the website. And then they start presenting some potential solution. Oh, what the hell? They're calling me all today. Let's continue. So there are also some other requirements, like containerizing all the time you can, streamlining development and scalability. Okay. Okay, so then we already have some examples. Oh yeah, so the main project on which we have to focus is the web front end and yeah, all the cluster of VMs behind it. And based on these requirements and these potential options, we combine all these elements and we obtain that these are the feasible solutions, and the best one for now is JKE, because Cloud Run, which is the best in absolute, currently has some limiting factors. So yeah, then we have also some argumentation about the usefulness of having this type of diagrams, which can allow first of all ourselves to comprehend the solution and to visualize the solution we are building and proposing, and then of course the people that will receive our solution will be in a better position to understand it and to discuss it. Okay. So here we're already having some example of questions. Practicing.
The diagnostic questions.
So yeah, starting from some of the questions in this file here, which I will open again. Okay. So they start from question 3, from this one. They try to group the options based on the differences in the command and the machine type. Yeah, and using all the requirements, they filter the right one again. And finally, we now arrived at the same point where I left last time. And it's already, let's see, how much time did it take me? Like 18 minutes to make a resume. Well, it's a long time, but it's a lot of content. I saw there's also another resource which I discovered the last time I was studying, and it's this Cloud Architecture Center where Google itself provides suggestions. Oh shit. I don't know what happened exactly, but just for some seconds I received a strange message saying that I'm disconnected. Okay, let's go. We have this diagnostic question. Passing score minimum is 80%. So let's see. Okay, I think you can see really good like this. Let's see if like this it's even better. Yeah, I think so. So Symbol Direct has created a proof of concept for a social integration service that highlights images of its product from social media. The proof of concept is a monolithic application running on a single SUSE Linux virtual machine. The current version requires increasing the VM, CPU, and RAM in order to scale. You would like to refactor the VM so that you can scale out instead of scaling up. What should we do? What does exactly mean to scale out instead of scaling up? I have an intuition like scaling up means pumping up the same machine with some more hardware. Instead, scale out will mean to have a horizontal scaling, which means basically adding some similar virtual machines executing the same application in parallel. But I'm not sure, because here we are talking about the application needing more CPU and RAM. It's not like a matter of volumes of it's not receiving too many requests. It's the application itself needing more resources. Okay, so Simba, okay. Okay, so what we're being asked here, you would like to refactor VM so you can scale out instead of scaling up. What the fuck does mean scaling out instead of, okay. I will ask the Oracle. Let's go and ask which AI is available for free without logging in. I think the one being. Yeah, Copilot, that's it. So, what is the difference between, say, scaling out? Horizontal scaling means adding more VM instances to handle increased load. Scaling up means increasing the resources of your existing VM. Okay, so I understood the difference, and this is the one I was imagining. But I'm not sure at this point. Move the existing code base and VM provisioning scripts to Git and attach external persistent volumes to the VMs. Make sure that the application declares an independent requirements in a requirements.txt so that it can be referenced in a startup script and attach external persistent volumes to the VMs. Okay, so it's containing startup VMs and use the GK auto-scaling deployment. Well, this will be my favorite one. So in all the cases, I'm seeing that it's for granted that I'm scaling out. Okay. Make sure that the application declares any dependent requirements in a requirements.txt or equivalent statement so that they can be referenced in a startup script. Specify the startup script in a managed instance group template and use autoscaling policy. Man, this looks like the solid one. Use containers instead of VMs. Well, considering that one of our technical requirements is containerizing all the time instead of launching directly on a specific VM, and use JKey autoscaling deployment. I think I may use these because, okay, I understand the requirement stuff, blah blah blah. But yeah, in the containers also I can put the requirements. And here, what issues may have. Move the existing codebase and VM provision script to Git. I don't know, man. Doesn't sound like Google-ish stuff, this one. This one instead sounds really clean, you know? You create a container with your VMs, which includes the requirement stuff. And then you just throw this on a JKey cluster with autoscaling. Managed instance group template. I mean, this will also imply that I'm using VMs basically. This is the more coherent one. Yeah, because I have, let's see, the table with all the requirements and the existing technical environment, technical requirements. Oh yeah. Move to managed services whenever possible. So JKey is managed. The other option here, the managed instance group template, is also managed, but it's not containerized if I'm not wrong. Highly scalable environment. Okay, so yeah, I'm convinced about this one. Simple Direct is evaluating database options to store the analytics data from its experimental drone deliveries. You're currently using a small cluster of MongoDB NoSQL database servers. You want to move to a managed NoSQL database service with consistent low latency that can scale throughput seamlessly and can handle the petabytes of data you extract from expanding into additional markets. What should you do? Okay, so create a big table instance, extract the data from the MongoDB and insert the data into big table. Could be. Firestore. Firestore, I think, cannot handle like this type of fluxes of data. And BigQuery is not a database. You are working in a mixed environment of VMs and Kubernetes. Some of your resources are on-premises and some are in Google Cloud. Using containers as part of your CI/CD pipeline. I never remember the meaning of this one. I remember it's the continuous development, CI/CD. continuous integration, continuous delivery. Yeah, okay. Using containers as part of your CI/CD pipelines has sped up releases significantly. You want to start migrating some of those VMs to containers so you can get similar benefits. You want to automate the migration process where possible. What should you do? Use migrate for Compute Engine to import VMs and convert them into containers. Manually create a JK cluster. Use Cloud Build to import VMs and convert them to containers. Use migrate for Anthos to automate the creation of Compute Engine instances to import VMs and convert them into containers. Manually create a JK cluster and then use migrate for Anthos to set up the cluster, import VMs and convert them to containers. I have no idea. Okay, so let's first look out. This test here is made to highlight my ignorance about some stuff, and in this case for sure I'm ignorant about the migration process. So yeah, maybe I will just try to imagine something with intuition, accepting that I will probably put a wrong answer. What should you do? You want to automate the migration process where possible. Okay, so there's two times this manually create a GKey cluster. I think the right one will need to have the manually creation of GKey cluster. Use Cloud Build to import VMs and convert them to containers. I will go more for migrate for Anthos to set up the cluster, import VMs and convert them to containers. Symbol Direct developers have written a new application. Based on initial usage estimates, you decide to run the application on Compute Engine instances with 15 GB and 4 CPUs. These instances store persistent data locally. After the application runs for several months, historical data indicates the application requires 30 GB of RAM. Symbol Direct Management wants you to make adjustments that will minimize costs. What should you do? So the application runs on Compute Engine of 15 GB and 4 CPU. So let's see the options. Stop the instance, stop the instance, stop the instance, stop the instance, okay. And then use the command gcloud compute instances, set machine type A2 standard, set machine type to custom for A. preemptible. So the persistent data locally. I cannot put preemptible, so A is not. D also. Machine E2. Okay, so the difference between the two of them is just the machine type, and I need to minimize the cost. Machine type 2 custom for blah blah blah. I have no idea, and the machine type E and something maybe too much, like 30 gig of RAM. But I'm not even sure if 8 refers to the gig of RAMs, gigas of RAM. Therefore, I will just put the custom. Yeah, because in general, the E-type machines cost a lot, if I'm not wrong. So let's see. Customers, let's see if you're still having a normal, a good video. Yeah, it looks like everything is in order. Customers need to have a good experience when accessing your web application, so they will continue to use your service. You want to define key performance indicators to establish a service level objective. Which KPI could you use? So this is a good experience. Wow. 85% of customers are satisfied users. What does this mean? Low latency for 85% of requests when aggregated over 1 minute. Oof. 85% of requests are successful. 85% of requests succeed when aggregated over 1 minute. Yeah, like A and C look like they're too generic. Low latency for more than 85% of requests. Low latency and success. Success, what does mean? Succeed, which means they receive the page. Now I will just put low latency because we have somewhere a low latency. Yeah, low latency requirement. Highly available, which I don't remember where it is, but this looks like coherent with high availability among all the others. And let's see, simple direct drones continuously send data during deliveries. You need to process and analyze the incoming telemetry data. After processing, the data should be retained, but it will only be accessed once every month or two. Your CIO has issued a directive to incorporate managed services wherever possible. You want a cost-effective solution to process the incoming streams of data. So CIO wants managed services. I want cost effectiveness. Okay. Wow. clear blade, and then store it in BigQuery. Oof. So to ingest, we always ingest with clear blade, which I'm not sure what is. Okay, so this one is not. We do not store stuff. We do not access in BigQuery. We do not store stuff in BigQuery in general. Then use BigQuery to process data and store it in a standard cloud storage bucket. No, they cost a lot for this once every month or two. Therefore, managed services. Data prep, I don't remember what does exactly data prep. If I'm not wrong, it's a managed service which underneath has if we publish it to PubSub and then use Dataflow to process the data, you need to prepare the data flow. Instead, data prep has already is like a drag and drop solution where you build your pipeline. Instead, data flow requires you to actually code. Even if you have templates, it's not managed. You will need to decide where to run the data flow. Instead, data prep is managed, and we'll use a cold line cloud storage. I don't remember which between Nearline and cold line are the best for monthly or every 2 months access, but I imagine it's cold line at this point. So let's go. Symbol Direct is working with Symbol Retail as a separate autonomous division of Symbol with different staff, networking teams, and data centers. Symbol Direct and Symbol Retail are not in the same Google Cloud organization. Symbol Retail needs access to Symbol Direct's web application for making bulk orders, but the application will not be available on the public internet. You want to ensure that Symbol Retail has access to your application with low latency. You also want to avoid egress network charges if possible. What should you do? Wow. Okay, so for sure here we need to expose an API through some type of internal networking. Verify that the subnet Symbol Retail is using has the same IP address range with Symbol Direct subnet range. It's not possible, I think, this one, because it has different networking teams. Therefore, like an IP address range will be under the hand of just one team, I think. I'm not sure. And then enable VPC network peering for the project. Oh yeah. Specify Symbol Direct project as the shared VPC host project, and then configure Symbol Retail project as a service project. If Symbol Retail does not have access to Google Cloud Data Center, use carrier peering to connect the two networks. Oof. Verify that the subnet range Symbol is using doesn't overlap with Symbol Direct subnet range. I have no idea. However, I remember that sometimes complex architecture which will need to connect different areas which are in different organizations or different spaces will use a shared VPC host project. Symbol Direct's employees will use Google Workspace. Your current on-premises network cannot meet the requirement. Your current on-premises network cannot meet the requirements to connect to Google's public infrastructure. What should you do? Order a dedicated interconnect from a Google Cloud partner and ensure that proper routes are configured. Or a partner interconnect from a Google Cloud partner and ensure that proper routes are configured. Connect to the on-premise network to Google's public infrastructure via a partner that supports carrier peering. Connect to the network to a Google point of presence and enable direct peering. Oof, never heard about these services. Like I've heard about this interconnect, but let's see. Interconnect costs a lot. I will see if someone can help me with this stuff. You are creating a new project. You plan to set up a dedicated interconnect between two of your data centers in the near future and want to ensure that your resources are only deployed to the same regions where your data centers are located. You need to make sure that you don't have any overlapping IP addresses that could cause conflicts when you set up the interconnect. You want to use RFC 1918 class B address space. What you should do? Okay, so this will be an educated guess, as this same question appeared in one of the videos in the module before, and I'm sincere that I wouldn't be to answer with just my knowledge, but I will try to remember the reason and the argument, so I will practice anyway. So first of all, we, in all the cases, need to create a new project. Delete the default VPC network, or leave it in place. Then set up the network in custom mode, set up an auto mode VPC network. And then use IP addresses in the blah blah address range to create subnet in your desired zones. And then use the default network range to subnets, and then use the default, and then use the IP address in there as to create subnets in your desired region. And then the first option is also the use VPC network peering to connect with zones and same region region. Idea. Class B address space. This is class A. This is not sure if it's class B, this one. Let's check. Okay, yeah, so this is class B. Yeah, okay. Looks like it's this one basically, because I have the other excluded based on their class of address. You are working with a client who is using Google Kubernetes engine to migrate applications from a virtual machine-based environment to a microservices-based architecture. Your client has a complex legacy application that stores a significant amount of data on the file system of its VM. You do not want to rewrite the application to use an external service to store the file system data. What should you do? Okay, so your client has a complex legacy application that stores significant amount of data on the file system of its VM. And you don't want to change this. Okay. In Cloud Shell, create a YAML file defining your pod called pod YAML. Okay, different type of clusters here. Create a pod in JKeeper in the command pod. Create a container in JKeeper in the command build some. I imagine that these different type of configurations of clusters imply something about the memory, which I ignore. I'm just imagining, I'm trying to put this build because I don't know, I have this vague definitions of deployments, stateful set, and pod is stateful set. Who knows? Who knows which one allows you to respect the local, the persistent memory. Submit. Let's see. Oh shit, your score is 70%. So it says review your answer and try again. Oh. Okay, let's remember. The first question about the scale out and scale up. It's correct to use the JKey autoscaling deployment, as this respects the containerizing and managing and highly available requirements. Treating each app as one or more stateless process means externalizing state to a separate database service. This allows for more concurrent processing. Yeah, but this is not why I chose this. I mean, this is why one may want to scale out instead of scale up. But yeah, however, Symbol Direct is evaluating database option to store the analytics data from experimental drone deliveries. Currently using MongoDB NoSQL, you want to move to a managed NoSQL database. You want with consistent latency, low latency and scale throughput seamlessly, petabytes, blah blah blah. Create a big table, yeah. Firestore is a shit. BigQuery is not a database. You are working in a mixed environment of VMs and Kubernetes. You want to start migration from those VMs to manually create a JK cluster and use migrator. This was a lucky guess. So correct, you must initially create a JK cluster, then you can use migrate parameters to set up the cluster and import the VMs. Okay, so probably migrate parameters needs two parameters, the JK cluster and the origin that needs to be replicated. Interesting. Okay. Custom instances are a good way to optimize cost. You don't have to pay for resources you don't need. Okay, yeah, I understood that. Oh, customers need to have a good experience when accessing your web application, so they will come to your next service. You want to define key performance to service, which KPI could you use? Incorrect. KPIs must be specific and measurable. So I did an error here in the questions about the KPIs. The KPIs measuring the experience of the users accessing the web application. I don't have to use qualitative terms. I will need to use quantitative terms. Then Symbol Direct drones continuously send data during deliveries. After processing the CIO, you want to cost effective, what should you do? Data prep is used to normalize data before processing, if necessary. Call line could be used, but nearline is probably a better fit because the data could be accessed every month. Call line has a higher cost for that access than that nearline, which makes it a poor choice for that accessed every month or two. Okay. So nearline maybe will be this, but I don't understand, is data flow something managed? Okay, we'll see. So yeah, data prep before processing. So data prep is not for processing data, it's for preparing data for the processing. It's pre-processing. Oh, Symbol Direct is working with Symbol Retail. Symbol Direct and Symbol Retail are not in the same Google Cloud organization. But it will not be available in the public. Because the partner is in a different organization, you can use a shared VPC. Okay. Beh, non è nessuna tragedia cada vez. Mm,
Un beso y llevarme.
oh. Different organization can't use a shard VPC. Okay. The carrier building also using a Google apartment workspace. To you're creating a new project. Correct custom networks gives you full control. Okay. Therefore, we need to take it and hopefully I remember everything. Okay, so this is the one about manually create JK class and use my to set up class in Provian. Okay, you are creating a new project. So set up a custom. Okay, customers need to have a good experience. Blah blah blah. So it's not a low latency. Okay. 85% of requests are successful. Satisfied users doesn't mean anything. 85% of requests succeed when aggregated over minutes. Wow, I imagine this one is good. Simple Direct has created a proof of concept for social integration service that highlight images of products from social media. The current version requires increasing CPU in order to scale. Scale out instead of scaling up. Use containers instead of VMs and use JK auto-scaling deployment. Simple Direct employee will use workspace. Here we have to use the carrier peering via partner. And here it was nearline instead of call line. And data prep is not a good one as it's not for processing. Maybe data flow is the good one. BigQuery is not for processing data. Okay, so it looks like the only one remaining as a good one. Simple Direct is working on Simple Retail. Okay, so as they're not in the same workload organization, they cannot use the shard VPN. Verify the subnet. You are working with a client who is using Kubernetes. Oh yeah, okay, so here it was the stateful. Okay. And here, symbolize everything database option to store analytics from experimental drone delivers. You want to move to a managed NoSQL database service with consistent low latency. What should we do? Wow. I don't remember here which was. Oh yeah. Big table, create big table instance. Yeah. Simple Direct developers have written a new application. Oh yeah, here I have to put the custom machine. Oh, it was the custom machine, but not the printable one, the persistent one. Submit. 90%. Yoo-hoo! So I earned 150 points. So you can see here all the points I earned passing this type of tests will also put me in a ranking. Let's see, Bronze League, top 10 advanced to Silver League. 4 days remaining. And I'm building public. So I need only other 250 points to get here. Let's go. Okay, so I completed this. And what's happening here? Please let me go on. Oh yeah, okay, now we're reason. Next. And I'm 13. Okay.
In your study plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay, so here we go again with these. Oh no, it's not the same PDF. I will download it. And let's see, this one is the one I just downloaded. Okay. Okay, let's open it in Chrome. Okay, so you can see it too. Preparing for a professional cloud architect journey. So let's go review and study planning. You'll now review the diagnostic question and your answer to help you identify what to include in your study plan. The diagnostic question align, where to look, and content mapping. Okay. Consideration include business use case and product strategy, cost optimization, supporting the application design, integration with external systems, movement of data, design decision trade-off, build, buy, modify, or deprecate, success measurements, compliance and observability. Mm-hmm. Okay, so trade-off between requirements. Simple direct runs continuously after processing data should be retained, but it will be on access on cost-effective solution, blah, blah, blah. So here I did it well at first. No, it was a mistake at first because I chose the call line with data prep. Incorrect. Data prep is used to normalize data before processing. If necessary, call line will be used, but nearline is probably a better fit because the data could be accessed every month. Yeah, in this case, I did not remember all the definition of call line, nearline, and the definition of data prep. Yeah, all the difference. Where to look? Taking business requirements into account when designing solution is important, in this case, favoring managed services. Data flow is a great solution for streaming data or batch processing because drones are essentially IoT devices streaming telemetry data. Clearblade IoT Core is the best choice to ingest data. PubSub acts as the glue between Clearblade, IoT Core, and data flow by providing asynchronous communication between services. Storing the data in nearline cloud storage is a good choice because of its low cost and the ability to scale well to large amounts of data. it's important to understand the attributes of different storage classes so you can select the correct one for your solution. Yeah, so there's a lot to study just from this first question. Let's see this one. Google Cloud Databases. Google Cloud offers the only suite of industry-leading database built on planet-scale infrastructure and for AI. Yeah. What the fuck is character AI? Hey, why am I not writing? Oh my god. Okay, so my keyboard is off. Again, it's not the first time this week. That's strange. The batteries are new. And now it's writing. Okay. So let's see, I was curious about this character AI. And let's see, what do they offer? Okay, this is interesting. So these are all AI characters living in services by Google. Wow, interesting. For sure, I will give it some time to just understand what do they do. Great. So then we have to study all these solutions here. However, I'm not sure why this will be relevant. I mean, okay, so this is a face-to-face course. Interesting. Okay, therefore, I will take note of these suggestions. let's see. Wait a second. I just don't want to use this. Fuck. Okay. So we're saying architecting with GCE in-person course, managed services. So I imagine they explain something more about managed services. And then Elastic, Google Cloud infrastructure. I'm taking note in a sticky note. Okay, let's continue. And what do we have here? This question, oh yeah, the one about the KPIs, which is something I also had a mistake with. What is this? SRE. Okay, this doesn't exist. This looks like something external. Nice, interesting solution. I imagine this is a company backed by Google. Interesting. Yeah, so the KPI must be measurable. I will remember this. Low latency doesn't mean anything measurable. You can reasonably expect to meet this KPI. Okay. Architecting with Google Cloud, designing process. Let me see one thing. So I'm just curious if all these modules are comprehended here. Okay, so it looks like it's not. So all the courses advised here are not in this path. However, I will find them in some way. I will look for them. Okay, so design a solution, blah, blah, blah. Design a solution, that means technical requirements. Sorry, but I'm a bit lost. Here we have 1.1 question 2. What is this? Interesting. Architecture framework. Nice. This is a document that I will include in the other architecture resource. I mean, it's here, I understand. And I see they're remarking the same principles. Nice. Okay. Okay, essential Google Cloud Infrastructure Foundation. This could be also something I may add to my notes. Yeah, okay, I see. And this? Oh, yes, the same. Okay, you had one diagnostic question that specifically addresses this section between or others that can be made from Google Cloud. Let's see. Oh, it's the same. They're kind of redundant. Oh, here is the architecture framework, so I will just keep it up here. Okay. So the next one, complete. Okay. So network storage and computer resources. Integration with on-premises, cloud-native networking, choosing data processing technology, choosing appropriate storage, choosing computer resources, mapping compute needs to platform products. Okay, so I did wrong this one. I mean, I didn't. I wouldn't do it good if I couldn't immediately search for the address range. So the class B address space, which is this one, I could not exclude the others. And also this was another thing I ignored in the option, which is the main factor that makes it correct. Okay. And here we have again something about VPC and networking, which I'm completely ignoring. I already took note of this content. These are parts of the documentation, which for sure it's interesting, but yeah. I mean, here I have the study plan resources. Here I have the exam guide. Here I have the architecture resource and Google Docs, GCP Docs, Google Cloud documentation. And let's go. Here I have it. Okay, so this was another question about interconnecting services, network connectivity, architecting and elastic. Okay, so these are the modules I need. Yeah, this was simple. Okay. So design network storage and computer resources. You can learn about these products and simultaneously course in the profession. Oh, you can learn. You can also explore the option of documentation. Okay, so there are infinite resources basically. Okay, getting started with Kubernetes engine. Nice. Creating a migration plan. Okay. Nice. So this one is another course. Architecting with Google Cloud designing process. We basically finished this auto evaluation. So here we have some reference to this 12-factor app. Code-based dependencies, config, making, build process. Okay. Nice. I like these references to best practices. And it's also in the architecture section. Okay. So now we're arriving at the end. This. Okay, this is not useful in this moment. Okay, study plan resources. Let's go. Let's proceed. Knowledge check. If you have a business requirement to minimize cost, what are 2 things you could do? What could Symbol Direct use to estimate cost for their Google Cloud environment? Oh shit. But I did not put user managed service. Oh yeah, I put it. Let's retake it. Shit, man. Creating a budget can alert you to higher spending, but it does not cap it. Oh. So was it that simple? Yeah. Let's go. Next.
Welcome to Module 2, Managing Provision.
Okay, so I will stop here. I will have a break and I will take with Module 2. Okay, let's go to my path. Okay. Hey. Now I want the architect path. Okay, so we are 28% of this course. We already learned something useful about all these resources. And I'm in Module 2. Okay. So I completed the first one, today I completed this one. And now I need to complete the managing and provisioning a solution infrastructure. Okay. Muy bien, muy bien. Let's go. So